Hey guys, good morning or good afternoon as the case may be. I'm going to be showing you exactly what you're doing for your still life project with a twist. This is for beginning and intermediate and perhaps advanced. So let me go through it really quick. In this project, we will be exploring different drawing surfaces and a little bit of collage. I'll be looking to see all 7 elements of art. Go back and take a look at them if you need to. I think you guys remember what they are though. Line, shape, space, value, texture, color, and form. Okay, so you are going to need a few items for this project. You're going to need many different drawing surfaces. What that means is you'll need one piece of paper. I don't care what color it is, what kind of paper it is. Heck, I don't even care if it's paper. It could be a piece of wood. It could be a piece of cardboard. Whatever it happens to be, this is your base. Then you need to have 3 or 4 other drawing surfaces. You're going to tear them up. So it might be one color of paper, it might be some other color of paper, it could be notebook paper, it could be cardboard, either side, whatever you want, anything that will accept a mark in art. You're going to take those pieces, you're going to glue them to the main paper. You're going to either want to use Elmer's glue type glue or stick glue. I prefer stick glue only because it's less messy. It doesn't stick quite as well, but you don't want to get this kind of glue on the surface of the paper. If you do, you won't be able to draw on top of it, except with perhaps a Sharpie. That's about the only thing that will draw on top of Elmer's glue. Everything else will wipe off. So you would take all your pieces, you would glue only on the back side really, really well. And then you would glue all your pieces together however you would like to glue them on. Now, depending on the still life you do, having a piece in one spot versus another spot may make total sense. When you're done, you should have something that has maybe, maybe my drawing surface will end up looking something like this. And maybe that's what I'm going to draw upon. I have a multitude of different surfaces that will accept a mark. This gives you many different surfaces. Hopefully that makes sense. About anything you can draw on will work. You can draw on wood, you can draw on plastic, you can draw on paper. Put it together in a way that you find correct using glue. And if you want a pro tip, take some heavy objects like books and such and stack it on top of the paper while it's drying so it dries flat. Otherwise, when you dry it, if you just leave it on a table, it's going to curl and give you a headache. So weight it so it stays flat. Okay, that's part 1. You want to have a good drawing surface. 2, now that you have your drawing surface, you're going to have to pick out 4 or more objects from your house, from your home, that would be interesting to draw and arrange them in a pleasing manner somewhere where they will not be moved for several days. So let's say I'm setting up a still life here. I'm going to go with my skeleton head with the gas mask. I'm going to go with this orb. I'm going to put this bottle in the center and I'm going to stick the scissors. There's a hole in the skeleton head, so I'm going to put the scissors like this. let's say this is my arrangement of objects. Your arrangement of objects will look totally different. Your objects will look different. It's all up to you what you use to draw. But they must be three-dimensional. They must take actual physical space. You're going to take a light, and this can be just a desk lamp. It can be any kind of light which you can move around. It should be on one side. That way, when you put the light on it, it will cast some shadows. I think you guys can see that. I now have some good shadows to work with. Doing this will really help you get your 7 elements of art, because you get a lot better value changes. You can see the lines better. You can see the form better, right? So that is really important. Let me turn my lights back on. Sorry if this moves a little slow, but you got to know exactly what you're doing. So you got your 4 objects, 4 or more objects to draw. You're arranging them in a way that you find pleasing. And you got to put it in a spot where no one's going to mess with it. All right? Now, if you want a pro tip and you're being smart, once you have it set up and you know exactly where you're going to be sitting in relation to your objects, sit down and take a photo of it exactly the way it is. This serves 2 purposes. One, you must turn in this photo that you take of your still life with the final product. That's one reason. 2, if for some reason you told your mom, I want to keep this exactly like this, and she totally forgot and she moved things around, you still have an image to work from. I hope that makes sense. Make sure you take a photograph. A, you need to submit the photo with your art. B, it gives you something to work from if this gets messed up. I do want you to work primarily from a live model. That is the goal, is to work from the model. I don't want you to work from a photo unless that's how it worked out. It's better and more beneficial to your drawing skill to work from a 3-dimensional format. Okay? All right. You got your drawing stuff, carefully tear cut. Set up the drawing area that you can see your still life well, where your drawing space will not be disturbed much. It might happen. You'll be drawing what you see for the most part. So I'm going to draw this exactly the way I see it. But here's the twist. If I were drawing this, I would think, what could I do with about 5 to 10% of this drawing from my imagination? What could I do with this to make it really interesting? So I might, in the eyes of the gas mask, have little creatures like steering. I might have a dragon winding around this bottle. I might have a forest growing around this whole thing. You get me now? You want to add 5 to 10% of your imagination. The other 90% is right here. You're going to draw exactly what you see. That is 90%. 5 to 10%, your own imagination, adding a twist, adding some visual interest. And then, the thing that you add must have visual contrast. In other words, maybe this is all monochromatic, and maybe the dragon is in every color of the rainbow. Maybe all of this is in black and white ink, but then the little creatures inside the lenses are in watercolor. All right? or maybe they're textured, or maybe they're totally some way to contrast it with the rest of the image. That way, your 5 to 10% of creativity really pops out. I really want to see that creative aspect, but I still want to see 90% just this image. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. Let me see if I missed anything. Anything is fine that you add as long as it is visually interesting, fun, and contrasts with the rest of the image. Draw the still life using at least 3 mediums. I would recommend using a pencil to start sketching it out. And you can continue to use the pencil, but you're also going to add in an ink pen. That can be ballpoint pen or Sharpie preferably so it doesn't smear. And then one other of your choice. So maybe pen and pencil and then something else. What could that other thing be? Anything that will make a mark. Does watercolor make a mark? Does acrylic paint make a mark? Does whiteout make a mark? Does coffee make a mark? Seriously, you can paint with coffee. Anything that can make a mark can be your third medium. All right? At least 3. You can have more than 3 mediums. And color is okay. When drawing, use the following process if you like your steps really simple. I'm going over the written right now. So, find your items to draw. Locate your drawing space where things won't be disturbed. Set up your drawing items in an interesting way. Having the light on one side to cast shadows. Make a comfortable place by the still life to draw from and do not change your angle, as if you change the angle, in other words, if I'm sitting right here and all of a sudden I decide to sit over here, that's going to totally screw up my drawing. Have one spot to sit. Take that photo from that seated drawing angle to turn in with your drawing. Assemble your drawing surface or 3 or more different surfaces. We talked about that, all the different types of papers and materials you can use, all the way up to and including wood. Start drawing your still life lightly in pencil on your prepared surface, thinking and perhaps starting to sketch in your extra things not in the still life. In other words, your 5 to 10% imagination. Start using the other drawing tools where you think they look best. Keep going until the quality is as high as it can be. Turn your drawing and photo in, for an awesome grade by no later than December 15th. No later if you want to make sure that you get a grade. No later than December 15th. I've allowed you guys to have lots of extra time on everything else, but this is so I can get your grades in for your report card. No later than December 15th. If you get done early, you can always spend more time on your mashups and prompts. This is your final, so turn it in only after you know it is the best work you can do. Have fun with it. I know you guys have got this. Thank you, and have a good one.